Hey folks, good morning from the Netherlands. Paul here again. Before the pandemic, I was building a guitar course, and it was the Temple of Shred guitar course. I had an idea for a beginner, intermediate, and advanced course, and it never saw the light of day because the pandemic hit and because I had to pay bills. And when you're working on a course and you don't have much work, you gotta figure it out, bud. So I figured it out a long time ago, and I got about 8 videos deep before I had to pivot careers, and now I'm also doing sound design on the side. So this is that course distilled down for YouTube because, hey man, you know what? The information's good. I think it could help some of you out. And if it does, all the better for it. I would rather it see more people and have more eyeballs on it than not. So that's what this series is going to be about. The following days, you'll be seeing these videos come out. There's like legato stuff, tapping stuff, alternate picking stuff. And I go through some tips and tricks and things. There's a bit of a time jump with one of the videos or 2 of the videos, and you're gonna see a little bit of a stylistic change in the background. But other than that, honestly, the information's good. It's of the best quality I was able to make at the time, which I actually, if I'm posting it now 4 or 5 years later, yeah, all right, the information must be good enough. That's the way that I'm feeling about it. So hope that you enjoy them. And if nothing else, you can laugh with me as I look back and go, oh my God, man, like I lost some weight. Oh, right, what the hell? What was I eating? Probably too much ramen, let's be real. Anyway, so that's all I got. I'll catch you next time.
Today, we're going to be talking about a D minor 7 chord being tapped out all across the fretboard. Why D minor? Because I'm actually in D standard, which is D, G, C, F, A, D. In terms of minor 7 chords, what does that all mean? For those who know theory, you will already know that a minor 7 chord is made up of 4 distinct parts. For those of you who don't, let's go through a little refresher. Minor 7 chords are made out of 4 parts, like I just said. The 1, which in our case happens to be the 7th fret on our A string, and then the 3rd, which happens to be the 10th fret on our A string. But because we're going to be string skipping, we have to throw in a couple of other intervals and throw them all over the place. But for the sake of ease, let's just go through the last 2. We have our 5th as well, which is 9th fret on the D string, and the 7th fret on the G string, which is our 7th. So what are the names of these notes in relation to one another? Well, it's 1 minor 3rd or flat 3, 5, and minor 7. So how do we jumble it all up and string skip? Well, we start to replace notes with different octaves of themselves. So it turns into something like this. So you see what's going on there? We're going 1, 3, and then 5. Then we're going to go 7, 1, and 3 on that G string. And then we're going to be going 5, 7, octave of our 1. It's just as simple at the end of the day. The challenging part with string skipping is keeping the muting going. So you have to be ultra aware of your bridge and your right hand placement when it comes down to it. You also have to be aware of where your first finger is going to be when you're fretting those notes. It's kind of a pain in the neck sometimes. Haha, guitar puns. With that being said, take it really, really slowly. You can join me on this one. I'm playing at 120 BPM. Follow along, I'm sure you can. So you see, it's not incredibly challenging, I think. I think it's more a matter of placing your hands in the right spots. Obviously, I've been practicing this for a little while, so for me it's a little bit easier, for sure, I can admit to that. But I'm very conscious of where that first finger is landing. One thing about tapping that a lot of people don't know actually is if you tap, you have enough force to just carry that vibration right on through. Here's an example. Do you see what I'm doing there? All that I'm really doing is using my first finger to have most of the force, whereas my ring finger and pinky finger are continuing the vibration. It makes it a lot easier, and this is actually a fantastic way to approach legato. All right, now instead of just going all the way up and down, we're going to throw in some alliteration. See if you can follow along. We're not going to move around where we are positioned on the fretboard just yet. We're still going to be playing a D minor 7 chord. Now by doing that, we start to create little building blocks, which is fantastic because from there, well, we can get very complicated very quickly. And depending on what chord changes you're playing over, this can start to sound really, really fun. So let's throw in a little bit more alliteration. Here's another example for you. So you see, the thing is that it's just basically 3 notes on one string, 3 notes on another string. It's up to you how you want to make it circular or cyclical, if you will. For me, I really like to experiment as much as possible. So here's me experimenting. Now that's a lot of fun for me personally. I like to throw in a lot of different odd timings and whatnot. All right, for our next example, we're going to move up and play the relative major to D minor, which happens to be F. So we're going to be playing an F major 7 chord in the same exact way as the D minor 7 chord in terms of arpeggiation across the fretboard. So all that is that 10 to 14 to 17th fret. Again, we're going 1, 3, 5. Then the 11th fret, 12th fret, 16th fret. That's just going to be 7, 1, 3. And then of course 5, 7, 1 up on the high E string, which happens to be 10, 14, and 15. And if you're following along with the tab, you already got this. The idea is that we are going to play both of these chords together. That's the ultimate goal here with this lesson. Let's take it slowly and then let's increase the speed and then let's throw in some alliteration and see what we get. Without thinking about keys, I implore you to experiment with this kind of arpeggiation of chords. It's a really fascinating thing to do, and you definitely can move throughout different modes and add little notes here and there as you please. Here's some experimentation in D Aeolian with the D minor 7 arpeggiation that we've got going on. Again, a really fun thing to do. If you're stuck on any examples, do go through and read the tablet you provided as well with the video. As well, that D minor shape that I've taught you fits very, very nicely over the pentatonic boxes. So you could even have a blues backing track and whip these out, and you're gonna have people turning heads because it's really a lot of fun to play and it's definitely super shreddy. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and please do not forget that you can always refer to the PDF to complete your learning, which I really highly recommend. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.